Country music is currently one of the most iconic and recognizable genres in the music world. Country music as we know it originated in the southern states of America during the 1920s, which led to the early stars becoming Jimmy Rogers and fiddling Joe Carson. However, it was the Carter family who stood out when, from 1927, they recorded 300 ballads and gospel hymns, all representative of country music's origins. Radio soon became the most important source of entertainment in America, and country music was played all over the nation, even as far as Chicago and California. The most important show at the time was the Grand Ole Opry, and it was on that particular show that the first seeds of civil rights were planted, as one of the most popular artists was African American DeFord Bailey. By the 1950s, the subgenre of honky tonk and western swing became increasingly popular, peaking in the 1950s with Marty Robbins' song El Paso. Rockabilly became popular through a mix of country and rock and roll, and actually led to the creation of Johnny Cash and Elvis Presley's careers. It was around the same time, however, that the Nashville sound turned the genre into a multi-million-dollar industry based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and led to the careers of Patsy Cline, Skeeter Davis and Jim Reeves. In the 1960s and 70s, country music actually began to decline, and many artists found only moderate success as a result. Outlaw country entered the music scene and revolutionized the genre, reviving Johnny Cash's career. Artists such as Hank Williams Jr., Willie Nelson and Chris Christopherson became the lead males in the subgenre, while Jesse Coulter and Sammy Smith led the way for the women. Country pop followed soon after, and its artists were often likely to cross into contemporary music charts. It started with singers like Glenn Campbell, Anne Murray and John Denver having hits in the country charts. It was during this time that Dolly Parton became a household name across the United States. In the 1990s, country music was aided by the expansion of FM radio networks, adding the higher fidelity FM signals to urban and rural areas. Throughout the decade, country music became a worldwide phenomenon, thanks to such artists as Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson and the Dixie Chicks. It also influenced a major resurgence in the popularity of line dancing. At the turn of the millennium, country music received a fresh intake of artists as they started to adhere to a country audience. Darius Rucker, the frontman of 1990s band Hootie and the Blowfish, started a solo career in the music genre. Alison Krauss, known for her bluegrass music, started to win a large portion of Grammy Awards for her music. However, in 2005, country belle Carrie Underwood won the 4th season of American Idol and soon attracted a younger audience, selling 65 million records and winning 5 Grammy Awards within 4 years. Taylor Swift has also become the most well-known pop and country artist. In recent years, country music has been heavily incorporated into pop culture as either general background music or as the actual basis of a television series. Television shows like Nashville follow the lives of fictional country artists but feature cameos by their actual country artists. Currently 2 generations within the genre, the classics and the young. The classics include Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, Garth Brooks, while the young blood includes Carrie Underwood, Thomas Rhett and Kelsey Ballerini. However, a large number of the legends have gone on record and stated that many of the old hands have inspired them. For example, Carrie Underwood listed Alan Jackson as the reason she entered country music. In recent years, Ireland has slowly developed into a country music capital within Europe, producing such artists as Nathan Carter and Lisa McHugh. And it was actually these young Irish talents that have seen reasonable success, with Lisa McHugh winning International Newcomer at the Grand Ole Opry 4 years in a row. So, from our radio presenter's point of view, how has country music evolved in Ireland?
Well, I suppose 20, 30 years ago you had the legends such as like Brian Call, but in recent years we've seen the growth of country music has kind of become more cool amongst young people with the growth of the like of Nathan Carter and Derek Ryan. A lot of DJs would say that that was thanks to the Johnny Cash film Walk the Line. But I suppose that is true. I suppose more young people now have started to look at country music. I mean, I know personally from point of view such as in the Abbey Hotel in Donegal Town, like where Derek Ryan's performing and Nathan's performing. Like, I mean, the place is absolutely mobbed, but it's mobbed with young people, I suppose, and that's how it's really kind of changed, because it was more of a older generations type of thing, but now it's become a more of a younger kind of crowd, and that's led to the like of a jiving coming back, which is very popular now. And I mean, you look in the paper and stuff, and when you see jiving lessons everywhere, you know. So I think that's really how it's changed. I mean, you have particularly a lot of young northern stars now, such as Johnny Brady, John McNichol, stuff
Jimmy
like
Buckley.
that. Yeah, and even Jordan Mogi, who is, I mean, I definitely think he's one to watch out for in the future. I mean, he's a superb voice. James Linus, just to name a few, coming out of Northern Ireland alone. And then of course you have younger stars, such as Kieran Roslin and stuff like that there. I mean, it's all kind of the new young boys, and then like you've younger people then, such as like Ben Troy, Jared Ahern, stuff like that there. So I think, that's really how it's changed. It's become more of a young boys kind of game now, rather than the kind of old traditional way.
Thank you. Some country artists have suffered from addictions and health problems. Johnny Cash and Hank Williams both suffered from drug and alcohol addiction. In recent years, tragedy has struck the genre with the deaths of many legends. Johnny Cash passed away in 2003. Merle Haggard died in April of 2016. And the deaths of such legends often has a huge impact on the music industry. Since 2000, country music has dominated the world's biggest award shows, particularly the Grammys and MTV Music Awards. Alison Krauss currently holds the record for 27 Grammys from 41 nominations. With everything that has happened in the past and its award success, the future looks bright for country music.
I've been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. Sleeping in my bed.
If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong